Rogers neighborhood are the people of this and other public television stations and the Sears Roebuck Foundation.
For the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the word, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you.
Doesn't look good. None of the trains are stopping here since the railroad started fixing the switch down the line. Aunt Stacy hasn't sold a single ticket all day. But Schemer's getting lots of customers in his arcade.
Watch your back, watch your back. Spend your nickels and watch your back. Spend your nickels and watch your back.
Schemer, you bought new cash registers.
Old, yes. Bought, no. Always remember Schemer's system of success. Never buy anything that you might be able to find for free in a garbage dump. Remember, kids, if you have enough nickels, you can do anything. That's right, and speaking of nickels, I'd like to visit some of them right now. Hey, come on, you piece of garbage. I mean, don't worry, I'll take care of it. It just needs a Schemer touch. Oh. I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm okay. Oh. What? It's a splinter! I must have got it on the railing when I fell over.
Splinter's not that bad. I get them all the time.
You don't understand. This one hurts. Ow! I want my mommy.
Oh, boy, Schemer must be really hurt.
What makes you so sure?
He left the cash drawer open.
Did someone have an accident? I got here as fast as I could.
Hi, Mr. Conductor. Did you see? Schemer got a splinter.
Oh, a splinter? Well, that's different. Little splinter is not nearly so bad as what happened to Thomas when he had his big accident.
Thomas had an accident?
Yes. I'm surprised you didn't hear about it. They're still talking about it on the island of Sodor. Well, now's as good a time as any.
Thomas the Tank Engine has worked his branch line for many years and knows it very well. You know just where to stop, Thomas, laughed his driver. You could almost manage it without me. Thomas had become conceited. He didn't realize his driver was joking. Later, he boasted to the others. Driver says I don't need him now. Don't be so daft, snorted Percy. I'd never go without my driver, said Toby earnestly. I'd be frightened. Puh! Boasted Thomas. I'm not scared. You'd never dare. I would then. You'll see. The next morning, the firelighter came. Thomas drowsed comfortably as the warmth spread through his boiler. Percy and Toby were still asleep. Thomas suddenly remembered. Silly stick in the muds, he chuckled. I'll show them. Driver said I could manage without him. I'll just go out and then I'll stop and whee! That'll make them jump. Thomas thought he was being clever, but really he was only moving because a careless cleaner had meddled with his controls. He soon found his mistake. He tried to whoosh, but he couldn't. He tried to stop, but he couldn't. He just kept rolling along. He didn't dare look at what was coming next. There was the station master's house. The station master was about to have breakfast. Horrors, cried Thomas, and shut his eyes. The house rocked, broken glass tinkled, plaster was everywhere. Thomas had collected a bush on his travels. He peered into the room through its leaves. He couldn't speak. The station master was furious. His wife picked up her plate. "You miserable engine," she scolded. "Just look what you've done to our breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more." She banged the door. More plaster fell. This time it fell on Thomas. Thomas felt depressed. Workmen propped up the house with strong poles and laid rails through the garden. Then, the Scottish twin engines Donald and Douglas arrived. "Dinna fash yourself, Thomas. We'll soon have you back on the rails," they laughed. Donald and Douglas, puffing hard, managed to haul Thomas back to safety. Bits of fencing, the bush, and a broken window frame festooned his front, which was badly twisted. The twins laughed and left him. Thomas was in disgrace. There was worse to come. "You're in a lot of trouble, Thomas." "I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir." Thomas's voice was muffled behind his bush. "You must go to the works and have your front mended. It will be a long job." "Yes, sir." "Meanwhile, a diesel rail car will do your work." A diesel, sir?" Thomas spluttered. "Yes, Thomas. Diesels always stay in their sheds till they are wanted. Diesels never gallivant off to breakfast in station masters' houses."
Mr. Conductor, that's sort of like Schemer. He got so full of himself with the arcade going so well that he wasn't careful and had an accident.
I think you're right, Becky, but something tells me we haven't seen the last of Schemer's accidents. But as for me, it's best I flee, for there's more to be, as you shall see.
Shining Time Station, Stacy Jones speaking. Oh, hello, Mrs. Schemer. Oh, very nice to talk to you. I see, Mrs. Schemer. Schemer's thumb hurts too much for him to come back to work today. Could you please repeat that, Miss Schemer? Who did you say you hired to take care of the arcade while he was away?
What's the word?
Mrs. Schemer, did you by any chance get Barton Winslow to run the arcade? Well, just a lucky guess. Oh, yes, Mrs. Schemer. All right. Hiya, Barton.
Hi, Stacy. It's classic. I'm here to run the Schemer's big-time arcade biz, and it's going to be smooth, man. Smooth.
Oh, it'll be fun to have you here, Barton, but who'll be running your general store while you're here?
Well, currently my establishment is being slapped with a new jacket.
Huh? I think Mr. Winslow means that his store will be getting a new coat of paint.
That's the saga, Stacy. That is the whole absolute truth of the tale. You see, when Mama Schemer gave me the word, I figured I'll help the schemer and carry on with my own gig at the same time. But enough of this joy. I feel it's time for me to assume the role of new proprietor.
If Schemer's really gone, we should throw a party!
Nah, that would celebrate Schemer's misfortune.
Well, Tito's right. It'd be wrong.
Not charitable to Schemer.
Right. So let's do it anyway.
Yeah.
Well. If I've ever seen three people trying to collect dust, this is it.
Hi, Billy. We're not trying to collect dust. We were going to play some of the machines.
Well, what's stopping you?
Look.
Ah, now I see. Now, Mr. Winslow is just trying to keep things going the best way he knows how.
But it's not like the old arcade at all.
Well, he's just doing things a little different than what you're used to. But don't worry. It'll be fine.
You know, Billy could be right. Maybe.
Now, children, would you mind stepping aside, please? I need to wax the floor. You know, remember that old saying, a clean commercial environment makes for a happy retail outfit.
Then again, Billy could be wrong.
No way, man. We can't stop this shindig with one of those fiddler numbers. We need something that's that's real cool and smooth.
That tugs at the old heartstrings.
That's foot-stomping fun.
Then we're all agreed.
We are?
We'll do all three. Let's hit it.
My body lies over the ocean. My body lies over the sea. My body lies over the ocean. Please bring back my body to me. Bring back, oh bring back my body to me, to me. Bring back, oh bring back my body to me. Oh, blow the winds over the ocean, and blow the winds over the sea. Oh, blow the winds over that ocean, and bring back my bunny to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my bunny to me, to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my bunny to me. Bring back, oh bring back my bunny to me, to me. Bring back, oh bring back my bunny to me, to me.
We're grooving.
We're hot.
Miss Walter, there must be something I can do to stop this. Oh, dear.
We're in the dark.
Hey, look.
Oh, hello, children. I'm wondering if any of you are from these parts and perhaps could direct me to Chubby Corners.
Skimmer, why are you dressed so funny?
Schemer, I know no one by the name of Schemer, for I am just a tourist going through this lovely valley of yours.
Oh, you mean you're in disguise?
That's right. I'm in disguise.
Now, how did you know it was me? I spent my entire nap time putting this costume together. It didn't even fool you.
Oh, no, great disguise.
Then how did you know it was me then?
The bandage. The bandage. That's it.
How did a genius like myself overlook something like this? Of course. Now, if it hadn't been for the bandage, you never would have recognized me.
Oh, no, not at all. Never.
Hi, Schemer. Hey, Gerry, how's it going?
Schemer, why are you wearing a disguise?
Oh,
Are you spying on someone?
No, I am not spying on someone. Aha! These clothes were damp, and I thought that by, walking around, I'd be able to dry them off. See my clothes dry. I'm drying my clothes off, and I'm walking. What's these bananas doing here, and these boots and these chickens?
Mr. Winslow sort of combined his general store with his, your arcade.
May I help you, sir? Have some change for the arcade, or maybe you'd like to buy some work shoes.
Work shoes? I thought that that this was an arcade, not a general store.
That's a little of both at the moment, though. Of course, the general store aspect does seem to be more popular. We've already made more money than when Schemer ran things.
Really?
Yes, really. How could I help you, sir?
I don't think that, I don't need any help. I must be on my way. I'm a tourist. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Positive I've seen that customer's face somewhere before.
Turn this place into a general store more popular than me. Ha! We'll see about that. Hey, what's this? Now, look at this wax floor. Who wants a wax? Help! Ow! Ow! Ow, no! Ow, my toe! My toe! Get away! Get away! Oh, my body!
What's up, gang?
Billy, something's really wrong with Schemer. Now, when Mr. Winslow told him that the arcade was running well without him, Schemer seemed kind of, sad.
Sounds more jealous than sad to me.
Yeah, he scooched off.
He scooged off, did he?
But Schemer likes to make nickels, so why is he so unhappy?
Oh, yeah, Schemer likes to make nickels, but he loves his arcade the way he runs it. He takes pride in it.
Oh, so when Schemer finds out the arcade's doing okay the way Mr. Winslow runs it, Schemer doesn't feel like it's his anymore?
That's about the size of it, Becky. The better Mr. Winslow does, the worse Schemer's gonna get.
Young fella. I'm an engineer, throttle dipper, and I'm an engineer around here, one of the greatest train railroad type of people around, and I couldn't help noticing that you were in the arcade, which I might point out that I do not own.
Yes, I was. It really is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yes, but it certainly was a lot more fun when that other fellow ran it. What's his name? The genius fellow. Schemer.
No, I don't remember any Schemer.
What are you talking about? He's run the place now for many years. You remember Schemer? Help me out. Use your mind, young fella. Come on.
Oh, yes, I remember
Schemer.
Yes. He was crazy, fella. Just crazy. Very, very, very pushy. And besides, back then, it was just machines. You couldn't buy anything useful, could you? No. It's much better the way it is run now.
Crazy. I'm not crazy.
Howdy, Schemer.
Hey, Bill, how's it?
Schemer fell down over there and hurt his foot.
Ooh, hurt himself again? Something tells me Schemer brings this on himself.
You mean because he hasn't been careful?
Well, being careful is important, of course, but that's not the only problem. Schemer may have come down with a case of sorry-for-himself blues.
What's sorry-for-himself blues?
He's feeling sorry for himself.
But that can't be, Mr. Conductor. Schemer doesn't have any feelings.
Well, everybody has feelings, Dan, and everybody needs to feel that they're useful. Reminds me of just the other day when the rails were being repaired on the island of Sodor, and Thomas got himself in such a state.
I don't think we heard that one.
And let me tell you that one. Every afternoon, Thomas the Tank Engine puffs along his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. First, they pass the water mill. Next, they come to a big farm. Then, they can see a bridge with a village nestled either side of it. This is a special place. Whenever children hear Thomas coming along, they stand on the bridge waving until he is out of sight. One day, Thomas was running late. He had stopped at the signal before the bridge to talk to some new children. Percy the green engine was waiting too. "Hurry up, Thomas," called Percy when the signal dropped. "If you're late, Sir Topham Hatt may get a new engine to replace you." He would never do that, thought Thomas, but he was worried. Next day, Thomas hurried along the line. Just ahead was the goods yard. There, on the platform, was an inspector waving a red flag. Next, Thomas saw some children. They were waving too. Something must be wrong, thought Thomas. This station is for goods, not passengers. Help, Thomas, help! We're glad to see you, called the children. Please, will you take us home? The station master explained to Thomas's driver that the school bus had broken down, and all the parents would be worried if the children were late. Thomas waited as the children walked down from the bridge. Then he took the children to the next station where Bertie was waiting to take them home. When Thomas finished his journey, he was very late. He was worried that Sir Topham Hatt might be cross with him. I warned Thomas, puffed Percy to James. He's been late one time too many. He'll be in trouble now. But next morning, when Thomas picked up his passengers, Sir Topham Hatt was nowhere to be seen. Thank goodness, sighed Thomas. Thomas knows every part of his branch line. Just ahead was a stretch where the hot sun had bent the rails on the track. Careful, Thomas, called his driver, but it was too late. That's done it, said his driver. We shan't get any further today. But what about my passengers? Asked Thomas. Don't worry, they'll be looked after, replied his driver. While workmen repaired the line, Thomas had to shunt freight cars in the yard. Bertie came to see him. I understand you need my help again. Yes, Bertie, replied Thomas sadly. I can't run without my rails. Bertie set off to collect Thomas's passengers. Hello, Bertie, they said. We're glad you're here. Bertie drove along the road that runs by the railway. He stopped at each station along the line. Sometimes he stopped between stations to let people off closer to their homes. Thomas felt miserable. I've lost my passengers to Bertie. They'll like him better than me. Sir Topham Hatt arrived. Your branch line is repaired. I'm going to change your timetable so that you and Bertie can work together more. When Thomas reached the station, there to his relief were all his passengers. Bertie is a good bus, but we missed our train rides with you, they said. Later, Thomas spoke to Bertie. Thank you for looking after my passengers. That's all right, Thomas. I'd like to make new friends, but I'm glad to share them with you. You're a good friend indeed, replied Thomas, and always will be.
Gee, I guess Schemer feels kind of like Thomas did.
Oh, yes. Sorry for himself blues can be the worst kind of illness. No doctor can cure it either. The cure comes from inside you. But now I must go before my welcome is worn. For here comes Ginny and the bus driver's horn.
Step aside! Step aside! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey! What do we say?
Oh, is that Schemer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there you got a tail and a hat. Huh. I was coming into the station when I see the big bus pull in with passengers, and before I know it, it's honking its horn at some fella who looks to be stumbling along and can't get out of the way, and I says to myself, hit me on the head with a pop can. That's Schemer.
Oh, the bus, the horn. Oh.
The bus honked its horn at Schemer, and he screamed and jumped into the prickle bushes outside, flattened his back, and twice as sad.
Oh, the prickle bushes, the bus, the horn. Ouch.
Shouldn't you be home in bed trying to get better?
No, Miss Jones. I had to come to the arcade one last time before I sell it.
What?
Yes. Mr. Winslow called my mommy and said he wanted to buy the arcade from me.
But, Schemer, you can't That's your arcade.
Arcade? Who cares? All everybody cares about is the goats and the oats and the bananas and the boots.
Oh, no, Schemer. I think you're a little confused.
No, I'm not.
Oh, sure you are. Sure, Mr. Winslow runs the arcade well, but so do you. You just do it a little differently.
You mean you don't like Barton's arcade more than Schemer's?
Gee, Schemer, it'll always be your arcade. Yeah, it's not Schemer's arcade without Schemer.
That's right. That's right. It is my arcade. It's Schemer's arcade.
Yeah.
Dump me.
Okay, out of the way.
Dump me.
Here you go.
Yo, Winslow! Winslow!
Schemer?
Winslow? The very idea of calling my mommy and saying that you'd buy the whole thing. I wouldn't take your $1.95 if I was down to my last nickel. And another thing. No more cabbage, no more banana, and no more bread. And no more leather.
Okie dokie, if that's how you feel. If you can't see that people would rather buy useful things than waste their money on silly machines, that's your problem.
Useful things? Let me tell you something. Anybody can sell useful things. It takes a genius to sell non-useful things. And I'm proud to say that this is my non-useful arcade.
Well, you can have it, Schemer. Believe me.
Deal.
Are you okay about this, Barton?
Well, I tell you what, Stacy. I'm chill, you know, really cool. And you know why? Well, because they just dialed to say that they'd finished slapping paint on my store, and it's aces, man. Aces. Anyway, I'm Splitsville. I'm out of here, and ain't it the truth?
Bye, Barton.
Bye, Mr. Winslow.
You gotta hand it to that old Barton. He's got away with them like a dog has fleas in a rainstorm. And that's a scoop. Well, hey, I'm on my way.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, kids, look. The trains are back on schedule. They must have fixed the signal. Come here. Look, we've got to get ready for the passengers. Come on.
All right. Get rid of this. No more cabbage. No more shoes. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. And don't need this. You know why? Because Schemer is back in charge.
Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station, where dreams can